Hey, good afternoon. I just watched your video. Donald Trump always saddens me. It it goes beyond mere racism for him. I think he thinks of all of us, as not of his race. We're not privileged white guys, you know. Let alone could anybody who's not white even come close, in his opinion. Donald Trump is an elitist in all aspects of his life. The fact that he sits on a show and judges other people as worthy or not says a lot about him. I mean, it's not even a peers game. This is a guy who sits on a throne and pretends that his opinion is more valuable than anybody else's in the world. More valuable than a president, more value than you or I for to be had. And that's not true. Um, am I angry at him in general? Yeah. But specifically, there's too numerous things. I discount Donald Trump, and I think honestly a lot of people do. I don't believe because people are Republicans they like him more or less, or because they're not Republicans they like him more or less. I think Donald Trump just sucks in general, and people know he's an egotist. And but that said, that aside, let's dismiss Donald from the equation and talk about birth certificates for 2 seconds. It's ridiculous that a president should have to prove anything because obviously he must have been a senator at some point and, you know, whatever, right? Must have had his birth certificate validated in some point in the past. And so it's ridiculous that people are pushing that. Um, I don't think it's a racist thing either, as much as people. Maybe it is for some. But for a lot of people, I think it's frustrating because it wouldn't have mattered who won if there was a hateful leg they could stand on. People would want to stand on it, be it birth certificate, color, whatever. There's always something the losing party doesn't like. And I'm a Republican, but I didn't vote for him not because of his race or because of his birth. I didn't vote for him because I don't agree with all of his politics. Um, it was a pretty simple choice for me. Um, had I had a choice between him and Hillary Clinton, that would have been a tough call. Had I had to choose, had I been Democrat, I probably would have chosen Hillary, but for different reasons than race, again. Um, Mostly because she's conniving and hard nosed and manipulative, and she's probably less apt to be taken advantage of as president than perhaps Barack was. Um, do I think he's a smart guy? Do I think he's deserving of the office? Yes. He's as good as the next guy or better, and he's there doing the job. And I think that's worth a pat on the back for anybody that gets there and even tries. Yes, racism is still alive. I saw it a lot when we were living down in New Orleans. Racism is violently alive. Um, and I think, too, the fact is that racism exists on both sides. It's easy for some, not you, not Barack, apparently, because he doesn't play the race card. Um, and I notice you're really hesitant to do that yourself, to even mention race. Uh, but it's frustrating. It's angering when people belittle another human being for no other reason than to aggrandize themselves. And I wasn't raised that way, and I know you weren't. And I think it's ridiculous. And what should we do about it? Nothing. I think the best remedy is not to give the Donald any more publicity than he possibly can get from this. Uh, should we call him out on it? Sure. Should we make sure other people know about it? Why not? But let's not give him more value than he can seize on his own. Um, let's not even give him the gift of the fact that people support him. Let's assume that people don't, and let's not give in to the fact that that people would just buy into what he says. Let's not assume that, not because it might not be true, but because let's not give that an advantage that maybe doesn't exist as much as we're afraid of. I know Donald doesn't sway my vote. It's scary to me to think that a TV show host is going to run for president and he's got less political skill maybe than anybody else, and maybe a lot more manipulation, a lot less earnest desire to do a good job than anybody else that ran the last time. I honestly think Barack Obama ran with great intentions, as did Hillary Clinton. Um, though they're not my party, I totally understood their motivation and their desire and the goal to push forward. Um, and honestly, I don't think the candidates I had to vote for were really worthy of my time as a Republican to vote for. I think I would have made a better presidential candidate than the people we chose to run. Um, but it's frustrating. But I think in the way we can best combat this is to find people to champion that are doing it right, make sure they're visible, make sure they have a platform, make sure that you and I, politics aside, find people that promote peace, understanding, and promise of the future. And let's not give Donald 1 inch, 1 iota of our time. Uh, there's no value for us there. I say let's go forward. Let's turn that anger into something productive. You, of all people, you're so talented and have such a good following. Here's a chance for you to say, that's a bad example, and let me show you this great example of somebody who's going about things in the right way and approaching things with an honest, open heart, regardless of politics, regardless of religion. Let's point out those people that are great role models and endorse them, support them, make them more successful if we can. Give them a voice, a bigger voice maybe than they have today. And that could be somebody in your neighborhood, somebody you know online, somebody you know that speaks now but doesn't get enough publicity. Uh, let's do that. And let's let Trump go by the wayside. And let's support our president. When I was in the military, I had a lot of problem with some of the things that Bill Clinton did, but they were anti-military, not anti-American. Um, and was he a dope? Yeah, but you know what? He was one of the smartest presidents we ever had, and he really had a lot of ambitious goals, and he didn't get to do them, which is really regrettable. And I hope for Obama's sake that he's able to push forward some things that are useful, great, and rewarding for all of us as a nation. Do I think all of his ideas are great? No. But hey, I'm not him. I don't have to sit in that chair and make those decisions. So there you go. There's my 2 cents and change. And all the best to you. And I really appreciate the time you took to make this video and share it with the people you know. Thank you.